Repositioning cruises can be very cheap, but there's a reason. Hi, my name's Gary Dean. I've taken 34 cruises, saw over 70 countries, over 300 cities in the last 3.5 years, all on a cruise ship. Let's talk repositioning cruises. It's one of my favorite topics. I've done a lot of them. I didn't do them because of the price, booked by itinerary. So I did them because I think if you're going to experience the cruise life, you have to do them. Now, I've done Pacific. I went from Seattle to Tokyo. Went from New York to Barcelona. I've done San Juan to Lisbon. My longest was Honolulu to Melbourne, 31 days. It's my longest. Was that what song? I just spent 3 months in a leaky boat or something. But it wasn't. It was a good. I'm on a cruise. I'm on a 5-star hotel, so yeah. Don't feel sorry for me. Now, why is the price good? There is the first reason is a good one, and it's a true one. The price is good because they're long, usually anywhere from 14 to 20 to more days, right? So hard to find a lot of people that can take cruises that long, right? You're working with a certain demographic. Has to be a good price because a lot of sea days. So, it's going to be a 17-day crossing. You're probably going to have 6 or 7 days, 8 days, sometimes half are going to be sea days, right? If I had to say, it's going to be around 40% sea days. It takes a lot of days to get across there. So that's a reason why they got to lower the price. Now, the main reason they lower the price is they need to move that ship, right? It can't stay where it is due to the weather or the market or whatever it is. They need to move it and get it where it can make money, where the demand is. So that's why it's going to leave New York and it's going to get over to Europe. Oh, I just thought of another reposition cruise I did. I went from Iceland up through Greenland down to New York City. So that time they were moving it back to America for the summer season. So they're moving the ships they need to get them from Europe back over to do the Mexico and the Caribbean. So that's one reason why they're bringing them. And then they're bringing them back. They need to do Europe for the Europe summer. And then they need to move them down to Australia for the Australia summer, which is our winter. So it's like that, they go where the demand is. So that's why they're going to do reposition cruises. They're moving the ship for them. They're not moving it for you. Like, I think everybody wants to do 8 days at sea. Oh, no. And what I learned doing them, I've had some really terrible weather reposition cruises. They don't call them trans-Pacific, transatlantic. Maybe that scares people. I'm not sure, but that's really what they are. They call them repositioning cruises, but you're going to be transiting oceans. And you don't want to transit the Pacific Ocean in October. That's hurricane season, but you will. You don't want to transit the Atlantic in the summer months because that's hurricane season, right? So I've been caught going from Seattle to Tokyo, not 1, not 2, 3 hurricanes. Okay. So I've got videos of that. That's waves and bouncing like I've never experienced. And I don't get seasick, but on that cruise, I definitely felt tinges of green. St. Paddy's Day today when I'm recording this. So I would have been a good leprechaun on that cruise. Luckily, I don't have the fear gene in me. I don't know why. I guess I'm okay with dying. I'm not quite sure what that is. I sobered up. I quit drinking and drugging 30 years ago. So this has all been bonus time for me. These are years I should have never gotten, and I'm grateful for them. So I wasn't on that 3 hurricanes. I wasn't scared. Now, the other bad thing about repositioning is the weather. Okay. My worst one was the 31 days. Went from Honolulu to Melbourne, and we went down through the Pacific Islands, saw Bora Bora, sunny and beautiful, amazing. But as we got closer and farther through the islands, the weather started. It was wet. Like there wasn't a day. All the excursions were rainy. And if you've been on it's like a holiday and it's like going camping in the rain. Let's just say that. How fun is that, right? Terrible. you're all standing around looking out. You're sitting in the bus, staring out the window at the rain, thinking, I don't even want to get out and do that. The photos are all gray and miserable. It's bad. It's bad. And what occurred to me was, if I was going to go, so before I say that, I booked that cruise. I didn't even know what Bora Bora was. That's what an idiot I am. I'm geographically challenged. I got a grade 9 education, and it shows up in certain aspects. In business, I'm a smart guy. Rest of the life, I've got a grade 9 education, so I'm an idiot. First to admit it. And so I don't even know Bora Bora's a thing. So Bora Bora was, wow, everybody was excited. It was like they were out there at dawn waiting to see this thing. And I'm asking people, what's up? Bora Bora's up. And I'm like, oh, what's Bora Bora? Bora Bora is 10,000 a night. That's what Bora Bora is. Okay, well, wow. Now I'm excited, right? And it was amazing. But then the rain started at these other islands, and it was terrible. But I booked that whole thing to see Brisbane, Australia. I had played video games when I was younger, and I would race through Brisbane, and the rest of Australia was like desert and terrible and and winter and seasonal and all of a sudden tropics. Really? There's tropics in Australia? Brisbane, right? I'm racing my car, palm trees and everything on this video game. And I was like, wow, man, one day I want to see Brisbane. So it's on this itinerary. We're going to go through Brisbane and then into Melbourne. So I booked this whole thing all about Brisbane. And then Bora Bora turns out to be a bonus, and 29 days, or 31, I guess it was in the end. And we get down there to Brisbane, and the weather's just crappy. Rainy, windy. I hired a tour guy because I wanted to see it. I hired a private guy because I wanted to see it all quickly. I had one day, and it was either like go see a kangaroo. If you booked a tour with the cruise line, it was like go see a kangaroo and come back, because the ship was about an hour out of Brisbane, downtown Brisbane or whatever. So I hired this private guy so that I could see more of Brisbane. And he pretty much said, like, yeah, it's not a good time to be here. It's kind of their spring, I guess, right? Is that what's happening? Or, yeah, because they're moving the ship down there to do the full season, right? So they're going to, it's the spring of them, and their summer will come a month or two later. So spring is wet. So here we are, we're in the wet, and Melbourne was the same. Melbourne was chilly. So, and when I thought about it, like if, and it is what it is. I paid what I paid, and I did what I did, but I thought about it after. If you're not sure, if you're doing it to do it, which is what I did, I wanted to do that kind of cruise. But if you're doing it and you just want to see Brisbane, if you said, what's a good time to go to Brisbane, it wouldn't be that time, right? So do that. If you're just, what's the weather going to be like? Well, do that and you'll know. Okay. And it's going to be usually either early season or late season, because it depends if the ship's going or coming. So either way, it's going to be either early or late. So you're going to get the spring or the fall weather. It's going to be either wet or it's going to be cold. That's what I can say. And if you're okay with that, and weather is weather, right? I've done Alaska late in the season when people would say you should never go, and it was 65 degrees and sunny every day, literally, right? People had gone 2 weeks before and it rained every day and was terrible. So weather can be weather. You just have to figure out, is this for you? And if it is, then weather is weather and you accept it. Another thing to say about the repositioning cruises is they're long. So entertainment on the ship. There's only one or two shows. There's only so many magic tricks. There's only so many singers. It's going to get repeating. You know what I mean? So entertainment is not up to spec of, doing a 7-day cruise and it's wow entertainment every night. 16, 17-day cruise. It's going to, just think of 7 days good, rest mediocre. Right? They're going to be doing things like singing their favorite Broadway song, or just they're filling in the gaps. And, and maybe you like that. I don't know. I wasn't happy. I guess going to be honest with that. But I love the Broadway shows, though, like when they do the big production and they got the dancers and they're doing a show and the whole thing. I think the entertainers are amazing. But when it turns into karaoke, I'm out. Same with if the magic's on repeat or they need to, it gets so long sometimes they're just literally showing a movie in the theater. That's You could sit in your cabin and do that. You're there. And then I was like, oh, it's going to be a movie night. And I show up, they don't even got popcorn or anything. I'm like, really? You couldn't even figure out popcorn? Sell it even, heck, here's my card, swipe it. I'll buy some popcorn and enjoy a theater night. But no, I guess too dirty or whatever the thing is. So entertainment, not going to be great on those long ones. No. Reposition cruise, you're definitely going to see unique places. You're going to see places that they're not going to go to regularly because they're just cutting through there. So if you do that Honolulu to Tahiti down to Melbourne, you are going to see islands that cruise ships never go through there, except that when they're doing that. So you're going to see unique places. You're going to see places you'll never get to see. I just did my repositioning this ship. NCL Jade we came out of Miami, went down to Lima, Peru, and then we're going back up through Central America to San Diego. And then this ship is going to do Mexico for the, what is it? I guess for the spring, summer. This ship will be doing Mexico. So we did Panama Canal. But yeah, it was a chance to see Peru, right? And that's a very rare thing. They get maybe, I think the guy said Lima gets something like 12 ships a year or something. There's not many go down there. So it was, you're going to get to see unique places if you're willing to do these kind of things. Last thing I'll say is reposition cruise for everybody? No, of course not. Some people hate sea days. Some people hate long cruises. So there's a lot. That's usually why the price is what it is. If they can throw in the Panama Canal, they're going to sell more. It'll be a more busy cruise. But otherwise, if you like a cruise that's half full, that's lots of space, that's quiet, that gives you time to read and rest and charge your batteries up and enjoy the food and enjoy the ship and have a lot of it to yourself, then it's for you. And I don't regret doing any of them. Would I do them again? No. I know people do them every year just because of the value. They get 20 days for whatever money, but not for me. Reposition cruise downside, you're going to end up in Europe or somewhere far. You got to fly home. So that's, you got to figure that out. That's a different plane flight. That's a whole different ball of wax. What I do is I traveled a lot. So I reposition over to Europe, and now I'm in Europe. I do a bunch of cruises. I'm in Europe, right? Do some train rides, do some travel. You're over there, right? You got there. And then, if you're so blessed that you can do a lot of months, you could reposition back, right? You could see all of Europe, work Europe, do the whole thing all summer, which I've done, and then reposition back, right? So a lot of ways to do this thing.